I know exactly what you're gonna say. You're saying, Sage, it's pretty ironic of you to make this video about perfectionism being tainted and when you're wearing the most perfect 1940s? 1960s top that's lace and floral and everything down. Well, just wait, because you're gonna see. I might even surprise myself. She's gonna do her makeup while she gets ready, but today we need to talk about perfectionism. The worst part of the job application process is the online business blogs telling you that perfectionism can't be your greatest strength. Every time I hear that advice, that perfectionism can't be your greatest strength, the inner teenager inside of me wants to scream a little bit. There's an eyelash in this. Perfectionism just sounds like it should be the best thing ever. It sounds like what we should all strive to be. That's why they call it perfect. But as I've grown up, I realized the perfectionist people, the perfectionist community, we don't get what we want as much as we should. And I think it's because we're perfectionists. I know it's because we're perfectionists. Because I see it with my own eyes. If you've ever seen somebody in your life release the need to be the perfect version of themselves, it is a major level up moment. It's a major level up moment. It's like you can see somebody breathing a sigh of relief over a year-long span of them unlearning perfectionism. The wondrous amenities of this life. They're good. The travel's good, the career's good, having a man that treats you like a princess is good, right? All the amenities is good. A lot of it comes with real benefits. We want this stuff for a reason. It's not just because society tells us that it's what we should want. It's also pretty fun to have. We'll tell you that. People with the things who have actually always wanted to have the things, they will tell you that it's fun to have. They'll tell you. Some of them won't, but some of them will. And that perfect life and all of the things that you think make up a perfect life, it would feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It would feel pretty good if you had all of that. I'm using a different color now. If you had all of those things, you would probably enjoy it. But it is not what you think it is, and anybody with it will tell you that. You are not. We are trained in this society to believe, we're trained to believe that there are people in this world that cannot make mistakes, that never have a single hair out of place, who succeed constantly, who never feel any negative feelings, or if they do, they're fleeting and inconsequential, and who never have any negative experiences. Our brains have been developed and trained on these ideas of people online, on TV, whatever, what have you, these fantasies of people that don't actually exist. They're fantasies. Those people don't exist. They literally don't exist. Nobody on this planet is flawless in that way. And I've known some of the people who you might think that about, and trust me, they are not perfect. In fact, I'm not even gonna speak on them. But a lot of them are miserable. I said it. A lot of them are miserable. And if that is not part of your version of what perfect is not being miserable, then that is because you have been trained by society to believe that certain things are more important than they actually are. And we know this inherently. We know that our mental health is worth more than success or whatever, being perfect in society's eyes. We know that. Our brains have been developed on these images of people, these fantasies of these people that don't actually exist. These people don't exist. And perfect is not any of that. Perfect is not what you have been told that it is. Perfect that really wins is flawed. Flaws are human. Everybody that has a human body has flaws. So if you see somebody and you think that they're perfect and they're human, they are flawed. Perfect that is happy, it makes mistakes. It cannot exist. Nobody in this life does not make mistakes. You don't have to be a flawless human robot to get the things in life that you deserve. And if you hold on to the idea that you need to be perfect to succeed, you may not get any of the good things you deserve at all because you'll be so overcome with anxiety. And you definitely don't need to have everything you think you want for you to live the life that you dream of. If you are so focused on what your idea of a perfect life should look like, that it needs to look exactly like what your family or your friends or social media influencers tell you, you will miss out on what your life could be and should be. And you will be miserable in the meantime. So where does perfectionism even come from? Deeply, where does it come from? And how can we heal it? How can we heal on a real deep cellular level? How can we heal? Well, we have to know where it comes from, right? That's what I'm saying. So I think it comes from, and I know for me and for other people, it comes from a fear of rejection. Oh, let me get the tea. For me, and I think for a lot of other perfectionists, we believe we can avoid being hurt if we are perfect enough. And maybe it's because as children, we were only loved when we didn't make mistakes. Hello. Maybe holding to an ultra high standard is how we proved our worthiness as a child. Or maybe we saw our family living through this reality in some other way. Maybe we saw them model that for us. Now, I want to make a really big distinction. There is a difference between toxic perfectionism and humanistic perfectionism. There is a major difference. Toxic perfectionism is based on unachievable standards. Toxic perfectionism will deeply impact your life in a very stressful way. It will tell you you're not good enough, even if you're doing great. Humanistic perfectionism, because I cannot give up the word perfectionism, but I will give up the toxic part. Humanistic perfectionism embraces flaws as perfect themselves. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna put more blush on. I'm gonna say it again. Toxic perfectionism will hurt you. Humanistic perfectionism will bring you to excellence and peace. I want you to know that I see your flaws. I see them. And I think that they're beautiful. You aren't beautiful in spite of your flaws. The imperfections themselves are wonderful and are important places for you to learn and to grow and to acknowledge. It's something in that foundation that makes me itch. But it only happens when I put it on with a brush. So maybe it's my foundation brushes. So how do we move on from toxic perfectionism? We know it's toxic. We want to get rid of it. How do we move on? To answer that, I think we can start with, where can you find a love that doesn't require you to be perfect? I need to charge my... Where can we find a love? Where can you find a love of some sort that does not require you to be perfect? Where can you find that? That's a really great place to start. Now, it might not be your father. It might not be your ex. Maybe it starts off... For me, it started off with my cats. Genuinely. They're always... They don't care if I'm perfect. They just accept me. They never have cared if I'm perfect. Ever. So maybe you find a tiny piece of yourself that can be less judgmental. Maybe you find a tiny piece of yourself that can be a little tiny bit less judgmental when you fuck up, when you mess up. Somewhere secure that you can take comfort in when you feel like you made a mistake. I don't know if this tone lipstick goes with that lip liner. Just a tiny sliver of an ounce. Is this the right one? Just a tiny sliver of an ounce of true self-care in a thoughtful way that you respond to yourself when you are in a situation that you might have responded to yourself negatively in previously. That is responding to yourself and showing up for yourself better than you used to. That is self-care. That feels so good. Being a toxic perfectionist can literally feel like you're driving straight through a tunnel and you can only see that light at the end. But if you don't get to that perfect version of yourself immediately, then it's all for nothing. If it's your schoolwork or your art or whatever it is that you're driving towards, and that's all you can see, it's all that's worthy of your attention, anything else just isn't good enough. And the real tea is that perfectionism comes from an energy of lack. That's what I've learned. Now, there's nothing wrong with thinking like that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna spill the real tea. There is nothing wrong with thinking like that. There's nothing wrong with being in a state of lack. There's just better out there. There's a better way to live. And you might get to that perfect goal if you think it looks a certain way. And you might not, right? You also might not. but you'll probably stress yourself out in the process. And the T is that process is gonna take a lot longer and fill up a lot more of your life than whatever the result would or could be. I don't know what I'm doing with this makeup. Going real peachy. I also just forgot what color I was using. Oh my god, I think it was that one. I was using all of these peaches, but I forgot which one I just used. I think it was that one. We're going monochrome peach. And at the end of the day, if you're thinking like that, if you're really only tunnel vision on what you think is gonna be this perfect life that you're gonna live eventually one day in the future, you're not gonna get it. You will miss out on opportunities if you are so fixated on that end goal. You just will. If that's all that you can think about, if you can't let go of it and enjoy the process, you're gonna miss out on some stuff that you don't wanna miss out on. That is the T. I want you, what I want for you, what I want for me when I was younger, what I want for myself now, is I want you to get outside on the other side of that tunnel without needing it to be some big thing. And just breathe in the fresh air, look at all the possibilities around you. See how many directions you could go. See that this one path forward is not the only path forward. You're in a big open meadow with all of the flowers. There is no right direction to go. The only right direction is the way you see fit. There are so many possibilities for your life. There are so many possibilities for the way you spend your time, the way you enjoy your time. Regardless of if you ever get to any certain goal, if you ever look a certain way, if you ever find a certain person, you can still succeed and thrive. If your vision of success changes to the enjoyment of your life, you can always do that, always. And you can absolutely still succeed and thrive without the pressure to conform to a certain standard. You can even do that in traditional ways. You can even succeed in traditional ways. You can even make money. You can even do all of these things that most people would consider real success. You can even do that without putting the pressure on yourself to get there. You can let it flow naturally. If you do that, it might even come easier. And it might even be more enjoyable in the process. Actually, I know that it would be more enjoyable in the process. And it may be even faster. And your path to fulfillment may even be faster if you do that. If you open yourself up to the opportunities that you would have been too scared to embrace in the past. Do you know how many people don't find their big break, their moment that defines their life and changes their life, that they tell everybody about for decades to come? They don't find that until they open themselves up to an opportunity that they never would have thought could have been right for them. Do you know how many people that happens with, where they put themselves out of their comfort zone, do something that they completely never would have expected to go somewhere, and that is the moment where they find the thing for them, where they meet the person that introduces them to the career or to the whatever? That can happen. That does happen. And I want to talk about one way that being perfect can really hold you back, or not being perfect, being a perfectionist, a toxic perfectionist, can really hold you back. See, that's even me, and I'm like, no, being perfect is different from being a perfectionist. I want to talk about one way that it can hold you back, that it's held me back. If you are so focused on your idea of being perfect and being perceived a certain way, that you get insecure when people around you are better than you, are smarter than you, are richer than you, whatever, you are absolutely holding yourself back from your dreams. Because you will never get rich if you're surrounding yourself with broke people. That will never happen. You will never get smart if you're surrounding yourself with dumb people. Really successful and smart people are constantly surrounding themselves with people who are better than them in some way. And that part of life feels so good if you just let yourself enjoy it. You should never be the smartest person in the room. Ever. And if you are, you should be getting paid for it. And helping people and getting fulfillment out of that. But even then, you can learn from the people that you're helping. You are never the smartest person in the room because someone is always smarter than you in some way. And that is incredible. That is life. That is what you want out of life. I'm telling you. If that is a value that I can imbue in you, let it be grateful to be around people that are smarter than you. Be grateful to be around people that are better than you. Those people didn't get there by being around dumb people. It just didn't happen. Once you're the smartest person in the room, where do you even go? Where do you go from there? You can't go anywhere from there. What do you gain from that conversation? Nothing. It's like wearing shoes that are too small. You're not giving yourself any room to grow. It's like putting a plant in a pot that's too small for it, which I've done. You're not giving it any room to grow. It's gonna suffocate. Don't be too fixated on your goal to excel that you stifle yourself by being afraid of the competition. Don't let yourself plateau. Ironically, you will never get to that goal of perfection if you are scared to be around people that are above you in some way. I say above you because we're all equal, but some people just know more than others because they've been in certain rooms and taken certain courses. And you really have to be aware of this and if it's affecting you, because it could be fully subconscious. It could manifest as aversion to authority or subtle self-sabotage to get yourself away from mentors. Get in touch with yourself and learn where you could be holding yourself back. And that is a really individual process. You really have to sit down with yourself and just write about it or think about it, reflect, do self-reflection. I think a really good goal, which I don't think I've been the best at, is you should be self-reflecting every day. A couple minutes of every day at least should be spent in self-reflection. Oh my god, my little kids! No! Now, another way that being a perfectionist can really affect you and hold you back is if you are so attached to perfection that you're afraid to start something. I have been countless times because you're worried that it won't be good enough. And if you're there, my beautiful flower getting ready to bloom, it is time for you to start the process of blooming. It's time for you to just put a little bit of water in that pot because you're thirsty for it. And you just have to start. That mascara actually looks so good on me. My eyes just look so much better. I used to be terrified of mascara when I was a kid. Like, they're gonna think I'm gay. Hey, Citrine! Come here, say hi to Kim. Do you know how many people never turn into the magical flower that their DNA codes for because they never allow themselves to start their journey? Do you know how many people would change the world if they let themselves start out as a seed? I'm actually not gonna put this on right now. I'm gonna wait till my mascara dries. The ultra successful people that you see, whether it's somebody in their career, who has their career, who's traveling, who has their mental health in line, whatever, they are not a flawless person. They did not get that because it's just who they are. They did not win that prize because they're perfect. They won it because they showed up when they weren't perfect. They won it because they gave the energy to try, despite knowing that they were going to be flawed, despite knowing that the journey was going to come with flaws. Your life will transform when you start embracing the version of you that sucks and doing things for the sake of doing it and enjoying the process anyways. And you can still work towards an end goal, but the main purpose should be to enjoy the process. Your life, seriously, it's going to be unrecognizable in the best way possible. And that end goal that you have in mind, the excellence that you look forward to, it's always going to be at the other side of you enjoying the process. Because to get to that point, you have to keep showing up. You do. It doesn't matter if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a diva, rock star, singer, queen, like me. The common factor in all successful people, especially those who didn't grow up with a silver spoon, is that they kept showing up. Even when they had bad days. Even when they felt like they weren't good enough. They kept going. Because it was important to them to show up for the process. Very few people are excellent at something before they practice. Overnight sensations in any space are so few and so far between. You just have to start. And if you suck, embrace it. My whole life I was good at everything, especially being pretty. No, actually I really wasn't good at being pretty for a really long time. I didn't think that I was pretty because I was mean to myself. But most of the things that I was good at were because I wasn't afraid to start and to suck at first. And honestly, even when I started being pretty and being nice to myself, which is where being pretty came from. I sucked at that first too. I sucked at being nice to myself. But I got better, and you will get better at what you want to get better at, and then you grow. Now, if you are a perfectionist and you are putting in the work, it can be really scary at first. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say it can be really scary at first. Toxic perfectionism is like a huge... Oh, my kitten broke my lamp that I really liked, and I bought it from Target, and I don't want to shop at Target anymore. That experience just inspired me to talk about how beautiful your flaws can be, and that your flaws can make up a whole... Your flaws can make up a part of the picture that is you, and that picture can be much more beautiful with the flaws. That lamp just broke. It's a ceramic lamp, and it broke, and I put it back together, and I was reminded about Lana Del Rey talking about kintsugi, which is where broken plates are mended back together with gold leaf in the middle of them. And that's what I'm gonna do with that lamp. I'm gonna put gold in the little crack, and I'm gonna make it even more beautiful with the flaw than without it, just like you. And if you're just starting to really let go of some of these things, God bless you. May the universe bless you with all of the joy and all of the peace and all of the space to let go of perfectionism and be safe and happy. And I hope that you can have that.